You just said that 3 times.
I know. I keep requesting songs for her.
All right, Mustang Sports Nation, I've got the Muhlenberg County seniors here ready to do a senior interview. We are at Fort Walton Beach. Had an excellent weekend. You guys excited?
Yes.
Ready to do this thing? We got a little music playing in the background, but what would you expect? Fort Walton, Florida. I've got some questions for you guys. So with us, as you guys know, is Mr. Caden Ray, Macy Cotton, Josie Davis, and Sophie Wilkins. 3 seniors on the softball team and 1 senior on the baseball team. So the first question I'm going to ask you guys, what is your favorite baseball or softball memory? So Caden Ray, we'll start out with you, my man.
It's like in high school or all time?
All time. All time.
All time favorite baseball.
That's right.
My first home run, my mom at the end of the game had to come in the field and climb the fence to get my ball. So the whole team's like, Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. And she had to scale the fence to go get the ball.
I would expect nothing but from Sarah. Macy, what about you?
I think my favorite memory is my home run against Ohio County and going right after Joe did. I thought that was pretty awesome and a core memory for sure.
Pretty awesome. I remember that as well. Josie Davis, what about you?
One of my main memories is when we had a game against McLean County, and I tried to duck down and get away from the ball coming from third base from May for a bunt, and it hit me in the head and bounced all the way back to home plate. So yeah, that's a pretty good memory to have.
So a little softball violence in the middle of a bunt. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Man, friends for life, and she whacked you in the head with a softball. Sophie Wilkins, what about you?
Probably hit my first home run, Whitesville Trinity, sophomore year.
I do remember that. That's your home run that I put in the hype video, by the way. All right, so our second question, what do you remember the most about your first hit and home run, Mr. Caden Ray?
My first hit, I remember, it was like T-ball, and it was like coach pitch, and my dad was the guy throwing it to me. And I remember I hit a line drive right back at him. Back then I thought I hit 95 off the bat. It was probably 20. But I just remember smoking that baseball right back at him.
I've seen you hit. I bet it was closer than that.
I don't know about that. But then my first home run, I had hit so many off the fence. And I was always hitting 3-hole. And I could hit, but I could never get one out. And I just remember my brother came to the dugout for some unknown reason, gave me a fist bump and was like, look, you're good. It was weird. I don't know. It was in a championship game Tennessee, and I ended up hitting 2 in that game. And it was just, it was great. It was good.
What makes you count?
So actually I don't really remember my first hit, but my dad says he remembers it very well.
Can I intercede here?
Of course, go right ahead.
First hit T-ball because I was ready for it. I had a new T-ball in my back pocket. Thought if she gets on base, we're swapping that ball out because I'm going to keep it forever. That's the one we got in the basement now on the shadow board. So yeah, I remember that probably more than you. But I thought a lot of the parents probably thought I was a little crazy, but I didn't really care. I got your ball and we'll keep it forever. So what about your first home run?
My first home run was in travel ball. I think I was in summer after 8th grade or summer after 7th grade. I can't really remember. And I hit one out at Madisonville, and I remember my dad had just got back from the bathroom, and I was distraught because he videoed every hit that I had up until that moment and missed my home run, and I was so sad about it. But then after that, it was okay because he went and got the ball, and the umpire was like, "Where'd that ball go?" And he straight up lied to him. Was like, "I couldn't find it." And he goes, "Well, I was gonna let you keep it." And Dad goes, "Okay, I was gonna tell you the alligators got it."
I did. I told him.
And then he went back to Madisonville after work one day and got a piece of the light pole that I hit it off of.
Yes,
He just thought that was
home run you hit off the light pole.
Yeah.
So I went and cut a piece of wood off of it, and we also have that piece of wood with the label on it.
Yeah, he's kind of a
had a
toy.
bunch of
You can't tell.
you're exactly right. That day we were running low with softballs. You know how it is in the travel ball world. They keep having to throw them in, foul ball. Macy hits one out. I went and get it and hide it and come back thinking he was going to ask for it. So I bold-faced lied. I said, I don't know where it was. I think maybe an alligator ate it, is what I told him. But he said, man, I was going to give it back to her. I was like, okay, I got it. You're right. Josie Davis, what about you? What do you remember? I think I remember you three. I know I do Sophie's, and I think I do yours.
Well, I can't remember my first hit, but I do remember my first home run, and I didn't really expect it at the time because I was in like the beginning of 8th grade, and I think it was against Russellville.
It was.
And I hit a home run, and I was like, it just kind of laid the basis for me feeling like I was a better hitter. So that's all I remember
You went on
about
a tear after that. I do remember that. You sure did. Sophie?
Can't say I remember my first hit, but my first home run that season I was playing really well, hitting the ball really well. I hit a lot off the fence. I just knew it was coming at some time, and then Whitesville Trinity, I hit it over the fence.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome. My mom went insane. I don't even know if my dad was there.
I went pretty insane too behind the mic.
Yes, you did.
All right, so let's see. We already asked this. What is your favorite baseball, softball memory?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We did. Okay. So who is your favorite team or player? Professional, local, whatever. Who's your favorite team or player? Caden Ray?
I'm a Cardinals fan.
Well, we forgive you.
Player, I don't know. I'm just say Nolan Arenado.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Tough
third
guy,
baseman.
third baseman. Uh-huh.
It's like
Your
him.
spy.
Yeah.
Macy Lee?
My favorite team is the Dodgers, thanks to my dad. But
Thank you.
other than
Smart
that,
girl.
my favorite player is Jock Peterson. I don't know why, but when he came up from the, what do you call it?
Minor leagues.
Yeah. He had a lot of talk about him and stuff, which he plays a position I would never play, so that doesn't even matter. But I just liked something about him, so ever since then, that's why I have my number today, and it's just always been my favorite player.
And he wore 31. I think he still does, and that's where you wear 31. But not in travel, you wear 19. Why?
Because it's your number.
All right. Okay, well, I didn't want to bring that up, but since we did. What about it there, Josie?
When I was younger, my favorite softball team used to be Tennessee, and she hasn't played in a really long time, but I think her name was Erin Gabriel, and her number was 22, and she was a pitcher. And I had this little paper in my room where I wrote out this big long letter saying, "This is to Erin Gabriel. I'm going to be a pitcher. I'm going to blah, blah, blah." And it's like this huge paper, and I still have it. So that's always been my favorite.
In fact, I remember Joe wanting to go to Tennessee because she went there whenever we used to talk about
I
it.
do remember that.
She
I
vividly,
remember that.
I
Yeah.
vividly
Joe
remember
used to
that.
show up to practice in full on Tennessee. I was like, Joe, what are you? We're in Kentucky, Joe.
Yep.
So, Sophie Wilkins, I see that shirt you're wearing. I know I've tried to offer to buy you a Dodgers shirt. You and your mom and your dad won't wear them. So.
No, can't bribe me into that one. I love the Red Sox. I really like Mookie Betts, even though
Now,
given the circumstance. Now that
just
was
made
my man
heart go
first.
pitter-patter.
That was our man first. But anything Kentucky, I love Kentucky sports. Kentucky softball in particular, I love Kayla Kowalik, catcher, slapper. Yeah, she's probably my favorite.
Good deal. Good deal. So, what previous Mustang player had an influence on you, Caden?
Hayden Light. When I moved here, he was a junior senior, I believe, and that's when they went to state back to back. And I filled in for the local travel ball team here, the Dirtbags, and he was one of the assistant coaches. And when I first met him, I was in a bit of a slump, and he really just kind of helped me out. And to this day, I still love to talk to Peyton, but I'd venture to say he was my Mustang mentor for sure.
Awesome. Good deal. Macy Lee?
I'd probably say Alyssa Brewer. Her and her dad both had big roles. Whenever I first started in 7th grade, I had to fill in a game because we had a situation happen on the team, and I vividly remember her constantly encouraging me and her dad as well, and even helping me out of a slump I was in whenever I first started. But they had big roles in my game for sure.
I love it. I love it. I remember that, by the way. Josie?
I'm definitely gonna say Emma Rose.
Number one.
As she's graduated, I can kind of see her through myself somehow, and everyone's like, "You act so much like Emma," and she just being the other pitcher with her for so long, it was just she left a big influence on me and kind of just built into my own personality too.
So for a few years there, you and Emma was the two pitchers. Now Emma's moved on, and it's
Yeah.
you and Ava. So
Yep.
it's funny how that butterfly effect.
Yeah. I think the way Emma was with me
Travels.
is kind of how I am with Ava now. So.
That's right. All right, I like it. Sophie?
I have to go with May on this one and go Alyssa Brewer. Well, it's Green now, I think. But when I started varsity in 8th grade, I was nervous. I was playing against 18-year-olds at 13 or 14. And, that was pretty nerve-wracking. And she was my right-hand man at shortstop. We played the middle infield together, and she just was constantly picking me up, encouraging me. She always had my back. Even though I was in 8th grade and she was a senior, she didn't care. She just always encouraged me and picked me up.
So my little dream here for the baseball and the softball team is if I continue to do this, that somebody someday is going to be sitting in that chair and mention one of you four, That would be my dream. Because I think all four of you have made an influence on the younger ones. And I think I've got a question about that in a minute, but we'll get to that. So what coach, excluding your current coach, had the biggest influence on you? Katie?
Kyle Eads, no doubt, undoubtedly. Coming into the basketball program, I played freshman ball as an 8th grader. And I remember early Saturday mornings, he used to come to the games, and I've went to church with him for my entire life, but he was just do it the right way and work as hard and do it as hard as you can. I don't know, I like to give him all my credit for this, how I believe I want to work or how I want my kids to work or something like that. I believe Coach Eads is one of the best.
That's awesome, Katie. Macy?
I think mine's actually going to have to be Sherry Davis because she was my last Little League coach, and I was definitely getting better, but once I got put on her team with Joe and a couple others that we still play with, I definitely could see how much better I got from there. And after that, I went on to middle school, and I just remember Sherry always encouraging me, and she still does to this day, so she's just really good.
I'm sensing some tears whenever Sherry Davis watches this. So.
I know they're coming.
Josie, what about you?
I would definitely have to say one of my old softball coaches, travel ball, Chris Penrod. He's always been one of my favorite coaches. He's coached me ever since I just started travel ball, and he is so supportive of me, and he's always been so supportive of me and he's always brought me up to be the team leader and everything, and put a lot of the confidence I have today has been instilled by him. So I'm very thankful for him to be one of my starting out coaches and everything, and he's one of the best.
Sophie Wilkins.
I have to say my Nashville Cruisers premier coach, Chris Goodfried. I haven't played for them for a long time, but as soon as I did, he immediately made me feel welcome, and he was that coach that didn't really sugarcoat anything. If you messed up, you knew you messed up, and he was going to do whatever he had to make sure that you knew what you messed up and how to help you fix it. And if you were struggling with something, he was always willing to work with you, throw you extra balls, hit you extra balls, whatever it took to really help you feel more confident in whatever you had to do next.
Good answer. I like every one of them. So, how has your current coach helped you be the player that you are today, Katie?
This is going to be easier for them than me. I don't really know Coach Shelton very well yet. I didn't get to spend preseason time with him because of basketball. But he just wants to win, and that's the most important thing. I feel no hate on Coach Locke, of course, but I feel in the past, baseball, we haven't been very good. We haven't been just one of the top. I want to win. I want to be one of the top programs in the region. I feel like Coach Shelton wants that too. Where in the past, it hasn't necessarily been like that. And I don't know. He wants to work hard. He wants to do it the right way, and he's not happy if we aren't doing it the right way, which is, I really respect that. But yeah, I have a respect for him that I don't have for many other people. But yeah.
That's awesome. Mace?
I think Autumn has really, really helped me in many ways. I think one of them was when she first moved me up to varsity, just always encouraging me and believing me even whenever I didn't believe in myself, and always pushing me out of my comfort zone and pushing me to be a leader on the team. Even when sometimes I was down, she always kind of made me keep going and expects a lot out of me, but it makes me work harder to be the person that I am today and play hard every time and just fight for each other like we would fight. So, yeah.
What about you, Josie?
Well, I think definitely Autumn has taught me how to expect something from myself, because I started playing varsity in 7th grade, and it was the first game of the season, and it was a home game. I was a 7th grade pitcher, and I came in and she said, "You're pitching." And I was like, all right, okay. So she put me in, and that just kind of showed me that a coach, and her being my coach for so long, has confidence in me, and that has just kind of always stuck with me. And she always encourages me when I'm pitching and knows what she expects from me, which makes me feel a lot more confident. And ever since she started me on varsity in 7th grade and has always trusted me to be her pitcher, that has been really great.
Sophie Wilkins, this is a good one for you.
This one's going to be a little different for me since she's my mama, but my mom has always pushed me to be better than I had to be, because we've always felt like people hold me higher than they hold others, because whatever I do kind of reflects on her. And whether it's the car rides after the game that I'm not so fond of, or whatever it is, she's always pushed me to be the best ball player I could be. And anytime I could text her at 11 p.m. and say, "Mom, something doesn't feel right, like I want to go hit, I want to go," and she'd be like, "Yeah, let's go do it." Whatever, like, she's always ready to go work. She's ready to do whatever it takes for me to be the best I can be. She's driven me to countless hitting lessons, pitching lessons, tournaments, gotten up at 5 a.m. with me. And she's also my coach, not just my mom. And honestly, she's one of the best coaches I've ever had. Like, I don't even know how else to put it.
So Autumn, honestly, is a big part of the reason kind of that I'm doing this. You know, she asked me back in the early days if I would kind of handle stuff in the booth. And of course, I can't keep anything simple, right? I did all the walk-up songs, all the music and stuff, and it transferred into video. My mom was wanting to watch Macy play. So I thought, hey, we can start live streaming. I started that, and it built this channel, and it built this interview. So Autumn even had a lot to do with that. So what's the funniest thing you remember about your playing days, Kate?
I don't know.
The funniest thing.
The funniest?
Yeah, the funniest thing you remember while you've been in sports. Doesn't have to be baseball. It can be anything.
Travel ball tournaments. So, like, after we play a game, we go back to the hotel. And for some reason, the one that's coming to my mind, the Bean Boozled game, where you, like, eat the jelly beans. We played that one night, and I got dog food. And I remember we're in this hotel in Lexington, and I puked all over this. I'm in the lobby, like the lobby's carpet. And we like kind of scraped it under a couch and left it there. And then I remember it sat there, and we came back the next morning, and it was still there. And I don't know. I'd venture to say that's probably the funniest.
Delicious.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, Mace.
I think that the funniest memory that I have is on our way to, I think it was a middle school game, maybe high school, I can't remember. And we're on the bus, and our tire busts out of nowhere, and we are driving down the road and have to pull over, and all of our parents have to stop and pick us up and take us to the game so we're not late. I mean, it was a catastrophe, but it was hilarious. Looking back at it.
What about you, Josie Davis?
Well, this kind of goes back to Emma Rose somehow, but
Imagine that.
two different things here. Bus rides to any game with the dancing and everything that just takes place in the back of the bus is pretty funny. And also the way that me and Emma did not quite get along when I started softball. It's funny that I think about it now, but back in the day we did not get along, and I was actually terrified of her. And now that we're friends now, I just think back on that, and it's just funny to me how we became so close after like despising each other at first because she was so intimidating.
That's perfect. So Emma Rose is still remembered, right?
Yes.
As it will be too. Maybe not in the way Emma was, but in a way of your very own, right? So let's see here.
Don't leave Sophie out. Yeah.
Oh, did I almost skip Sophie? I'm sorry.
Rude.
Oops, how rude. Yeah.
I'm just going to say this trip has been
Hilarious.
something. And I'm just going to say our group chat, because that's all that's family appropriate for the show. Group chat. That
4 Point Sheridan.
4 Point Sheridan visitors. that one's pretty good.
All right. So, what would you like your fans, or Mustang Sports Nation, if you will, to know about you that they may not? Kate?
Tell them that you talked about whatever you just did recently.
Well, Macy says that I tied the home run record. Hopefully I'll break that this year.
I hope so, and I hope I'm there to air it. So if you
I
could
hope so,
selfishly
too.
wait on me and get to one of your games, I would appreciate it.
I will
But do
wait.
what you got to do. Don't wait on me.
I'll wait. Just for you. I'll wait till you're in the stands.
But something else that they may not know before we get to Macy is who have you signed to play college ball with?
Morehead State.
Morehead State. So not everybody out there knows it, even though I think I've mentioned it no less than 347 times while I've been doing your game. So they probably know it, but if they don't, now they do. Macy Cotton?
Well, I don't have anything softball related, but I'm graduating on actually May 5th with my associate's degree before I even graduate high school, which is actually pretty cool. So, yeah.
That is good. You make your mom and dad proud.
Thanks.
I'm proud of that.
Thanks, Doc.
Plus, it's a little cheaper when you do it that way, so thank you.
We'll go with that.
Josie Davis?
Well, I guess I'll go with the basic here is that I'm also a singer and I like to sing and write songs and play guitar, which when you see me playing softball, that might be all you associate me with, but I really love to do that too.
And I've heard you sing. I've even been in the shower and asked Alexa to play Josie Davis, and she knows who you are, and she plays you. So good job. Sophie?
I've got two things. One thing, I love good lemon. I love lemons, salt at the dinner table.
You
I
eat the whole
lemons.
lemon.
I eat the
Clarify
entire
that.
lemon.
Peel
Like
and
an
all?
apple.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But the second thing, I sleep with my baby blanket that I've had since I was fresh and can't sleep without it.
What's its
My
name,
memo
Sophie?
mate, what?
What's its name?
His name is Bobby.
Bobby?
Bobby, that is my Bobby, and I cannot sleep without him. So
Lovely.
don't judge. If you want me to sleep, y'all better find Bobby.
I'm passed out.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
So what would you like the younger players on your team now to remember about you when you're gone?
Well, of course, the leadership, no matter what. It's super important as the only senior to help the underclassmen out. So when they make an error, just let them know that I have made plenty of them, or when they strike out, just let them know that we're all human. I've done the same thing. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, they're still going to be in the lineup or something like that. But just, I want them to remember my leadership, my energy. I mean, how much I love playing for Muhlenberg County. I think that's really important that they know how much I value Muhlenberg County and what they've done for me. But yeah, that's
And
it.
I haven't done as many baseball games as I have softball games, but I see how they respond to you, Caden, and I think that's a perfect answer. Macy Cotton.
First of all, that they're never going to get their hair braided as good as I can braid it. Also,
That's true.
I think just to kind of, it is about softball, but ultimately it's about your teammates and the connections you're making with one another. So always just to put that first and just value each other more than you value the game, because ultimately we matter over the game of softball, and these people will remember forever. So you always want to leave a good impression with the people. So just be nice and be a good teammate.
Josie Davis.
I think that for me, it's just important to remember to enjoy yourself, because there have been a lot of times in the past where my energy that I bring to practice and games, people are just like, you always seem so happy, you always seem so like pepped up and all this stuff and kind of crazy. And I just think that you should always enjoy yourself, because there may be times that you're in a hitting slump or you're not doing what you want to do or you're not doing things right. But if you still have a good energy and enjoy yourself, just make your sport and make softball something that you look forward to, and something that even if you're not doing your best at the time, to still enjoy yourself as much as you can.
Good. Sophie?
I think definitely I want them to remember me as being a good teammate, because it doesn't matter how many home runs I've hit, how good I hit, how good I can play defense, or what I did in a certain game. It matters about the kind of person I am and how these girls were affected by me. And I think just picking each other up, not letting them get down on themselves, and knowing that they can come to me like if they have anything, I think that's what's most important to me.
I love it. So what has wearing the blue, white, and black meant to you? What about being a Mustang? What about wearing those colors means the most to you?
Well, especially, this is a lot more for basketball than it is baseball in this county. But Muhlenberg County fans, they love their basketball, and it's a rich tradition. And I love, wearing those colors, it means you got to work hard. You got to do. It's blue collar. It's one of those programs, and I love how they've taken me in and taken all of us in. it's true. Muhlenberg County is truly special when it comes down to sports and the people in Muhlenberg County. But no, it's something that I'll never forget, and I'm so thankful for Muhlenberg County.
I feel that, Caden. You know, I'm a transplant. I'm a Hopkins County boy, and I feel that every game that I'm at. I do. I feel the pride. I'm definitely glad to be a part of it. But I bet I'm not as glad as you are. You guys are actually a part of it. I'm just kind of in the background. But what about you, Macy Cotton?
I've really enjoyed it. Like Hayden Ray said, like we have really diehard fans. We have fans that follow us to faraway games we have fans that travel with us, which is really awesome. I really liked being able to surprise some people because some people kind of look down on us and don't always think we're top tier, but especially this year in baseball and softball, we've kind of showed up and proven ourselves more than years past, and so I'm really excited about that. But it also just makes me want to bring my kids back here one day to play for the same team that I got to play for. So, I mean, I don't know, it means a lot, but even just the fans, the encouragement, like everything, it's just awesome.
Very good. Josie Davis?
Well, I think that a lot of the thing is there's a lot of schools out there that might have the same colors that we have, you know, but for our school personally, it's Muhlenberg County, and I think a lot this year, especially shout out to Mr. Carver, he has really put a huge impact on the sports and the community of the school and the inclusion and just the whole community of the school. And I think that just wearing those colors now feels a lot different than it might have in the past. Like, it feels like it means something to be able to support each other and just push yourself to be great for your school and be great to represent your county. And I think that's just something that I've felt really good about this year, especially.
Sophie Wilkins.
I have to agree with Joe. Ken Carver has done some amazing things for our school. I think he's completely turned it around, and putting the jersey on this year feels completely different. And honestly, to me, there's nothing better. Like, there's nothing I'm going to miss more than putting that jersey on one day and being able to go out and fight with my best friends for the blue, black, and white. And I don't know, there's just something about, like, we've been playing, like, me, May, and Joe have been playing together since we were in 7th grade, and I think we can all agree that, like, our program was not what it is now. Like, the Davis counties and the Meade counties and the Catholics, they used to never want to play us because, you know, we weren't any good. But now, like, we can hold our own, and we're one of the best teams in the region, and we're just here ready to show people that we're serious and it's time to, like, really take us seriously because we are one of the best now.
All right, so what player on your team picks you up the most when you get down? Caden, right?
A really good teammate who, no matter what, if he plays or doesn't play, or if Cortland Holmes, he is always happy. It doesn't matter if he's not at second base or if he's being DH for, but he's always happy. So, like, when he was in the other night, it was just like, I mean, it's like he started every single game. It was just normal. He's perfect. But I'd venture to say Cortland's a really good teammate, and Eli DeBoer is also a really good teammate, most definitely.
I've got to enjoy watching them play and grow this year as well. Macy Cotton?
I think all my teammates do a really good job of this, but specifically, two people come to mind besides Joe because she's just silly and makes anybody laugh. But Avery Carver and Josh Leno always somehow seem to put me in a better mood even whenever I'm doing my absolute worst. They somehow say something that makes me laugh and changes my mood really quick. And like the other day, I had a terrible game, but they both came to me, and honestly, that's what got me through and pushed me to get over the hump and keep pushing for my team. So, yeah.
Josie Davis.
Well, I think Ava Carver because, you know, as much as I have to help her get out of her bad moods, she has to do the same for me. And the moment that she sees me getting down, she's like, no. And then she'll come over there and talk to me, and then I'll start smiling. So I think definitely Ava.
Some kind of a pitching bond there,
yeah.
You think? Sophie Wilkins?
I say Avery because it doesn't matter. I can literally go up and swing 3 times and then head back to the bench. She's like, it's fine. Like, we need you on defense, or you have another job to do. Like, we need you to step up and just let it go and get the next one.
All right. So what is your favorite pregame song, Caden Ray?
Pregame song?
What
Sweet
gets you
Caroline.
hyped up?
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet
That's
Caroline.
easily, it's the best baseball song ever made. No doubt. Easily.
Macy Cotton?
Mine's not really like I guess a hype song, but I like listening to Who I Am before I play because it like ultimately reminds me that this game doesn't define me and like it's bigger than that. So just listening to that and like positive self-talk is what I always like to listen to right before I start.
Josie Davis.
This might seem a little cliche or whatever, but no.
What'd you just say?
My own song. Anyways, I think this Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana is just a song that I heard like randomly. Like I didn't even really know what the song was until a while back, and then I was like, oh, that's what that song is. And ever since then, I've been like, I really like that song. So before games, like even my mom will sing it, trying to like get me going. She's like, don't you like that song? You should use that for a walk-up song. That'd get everybody going. And I'm like, okay, but that's one I can think
I
of.
love that song too as well. That's back in my day. Sophie Wilkins.
Not a specific song, but anything that Drake sings, y'all can bet it's on in my earbuds because I'm listening to it. That's all I listen to before games. So.
Well, guys, it has been an absolute honor, and I know 4 seniors sitting here in front of us, your parents and myself are not ready for this day to come. We're definitely not ready for the day to come when you guys are finished, but that day is going to get here, and I'm definitely not looking forward. You know, I have never done a softball game that one of you 3 girls hadn't been involved, right? So it's going to be tough on me, but I know the day's coming, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to cut that off. I know your parents probably don't even want me to bring it up either, but any final words before we sign off? It's been a great interview.
I want to give a shout out to Dana for being amazing and stretching me all the time and helping this stupid wound on my foot now that somehow happened. Also, our coaches that brought us here in the school for giving us funds to be able to come, and the parents who came, and our fans who support us. Really just everybody. I mean, everybody's kind of done their part in getting us here, and we're really excited to be here. I think we owe a lot to the people who, support us, just the businesses, like everybody who feeds us, like everything. Like we're really thankful for everybody who makes this happen for us. So yeah.
I got one more person, Dave Gott.
Yeah, good one. That's a good one.
Dave Gott, we love you, and we will never let another person drive our bus.
So you guys know on Teacher Appreciation Day, that was a sign that I was holding, was Mr. Dave Gott.
Yeah.
Josie, you got
I
anything
agree
to
with
say?
both of them, and just to all our coaches, Morgan and Autumn, and everyone who has helped us be successful down here, and just show us that we can show out and be a good team and support each other, and show the people down here who might not know our team or might not think we're going to be a big team down here that we can win games. So.
And I've got to give a huge shout out to the man himself, BJ Cotton. He's one of a kind. He is hilariously different. But I mean, he is amazing.
I agree with that.
And he does a phenomenal job covering all of our games. He provides the people that can't come to our games live feeding. And he's a great dude, and I'm truly thankful, and we're all truly thankful for everything he's done for us and in our community.
I appreciate that, Katie. The other day when I got to see you hit your home run, it was your 7th, the first one I got to watch you hit, your 7th in high school. That is, I forgot what I was doing. I become a fan. I stood up. I almost ripped my lapel off. I was shaking my fist, clapping, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm in the middle of a broadcast here, so I got to get back to what I'm doing.
I can hear you while I'm up at bat. Like Niceville, our first game of the week, you were up there up top, right behind us, and everybody. The lone senior steps up. The muscle man or something like that. I hear it every time.
Yeah, he told me he had to refrain from saying the big man because he called you that too much.
He always says
I
ready
hear
to
him
go to
every
work.
time.
Ready to go to work. I hear him. Actually, I got a hit today, and all I hear is shot. That's all he does.
I hear the fruit of my looms too much. To be honest, a little too much for my ears to hear, but it's fine.
Anytime someone's catching something in the outfield, I hear it like a cat in the night. There she goes. There she goes. She's getting it.
Personally, my favorite is when I fall down at Warren East, trip over my shoestrings, and I hear a sniper in the bush. That one might do it.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so on behalf of these 4 seniors, I want to thank all of you guys that's been taking care of them, who paid their way to get here, who picked up a meal, and like I said, paid the bills. Guys, we appreciate your support. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and on behalf of these 4, thank you, and as always, God bless you, wherever you may be.
Would that have been the
Vince
appropriate
Scully.
moment to go, who are we, MC?
That would have, but that was not the moment for that.
All